Welcome back to the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2020 tournament. Today we've got Facebook New York Jiayou is their new team name now, versus Secret Shopify, and this is a week 7 game, so it was played on 7.26, actually the day after the patch came out, so a lot of things kind of in motion, but this patch wasn't as big as the one the other day, 7.26a, so just a bunch of gold loss across the board and some stat nerfs in general, but I don't think that meta changed too much. There's definitely a lot of speculation because it's an economy patch, so it affects all heroes, not just the ones with the stuff in the change logs. But I think the meta is not going to change too much, especially after a day, right? You just got to play with what you're comfortable with. My team tried to change it up a little bit, and it did work out for us in our game. Spoiler alert, and we'll get to it eventually. But it felt good at the start, but we're very all in on the early mid game. We picked a early game land. I mean, experience wasn't changed at all, so we're like, let's pick heroes that scale with levels, and then we kind of just hit a brick wall, and we weren't able to close out the game. But anyway, these two are in the top bracket. So this should be a pretty exciting game, although Shopify got whomped last time they were up against New York Jiayou. I am casting this alone as well, because Hero, who is sometimes a co-caster, is playing in this game, so we get to flame him a little bit. We watched Fruitcake's game the other day, and there was some flame being thrown there, so it's time to throw some flame back. Couldn't find Fruitcakes here. Doesn't seem like he's online right now, and I wanted to get these kind of out of the way because I'm definitely falling very far behind in general with this casting schedule, and there's a new patch every week, so I gotta try and keep up. It's otherwise I have to remember this, when I was doing the week 6 games, I only did those pretty recently, and I was like, well, this game was played 4 patches ago now, so there's a different meta, different heroes, very confusing. And there's also pro tournaments that happen throughout the way. This was I think the day this is last weekend. So there was the finals of the ESL 1 Europe's CIS region, OG versus Viking GG. It was pretty hype. Oh, well, no, sorry, not Viking GG. VP, OG versus VP. That was a pretty hype series. But game 5, would recommend you check it out. It was a little bit stompy, but the last game was pretty enjoyable. This OG overall was very enjoyable. Triple rapier gyrocopters. It's casual. Alright, so at least from the bans here, the Pugna I think is a very good hero right now. This is after the showing from OG. Saksa position for Pugna, kind of kept his gyro in the game for him to pick up a triple rapier, and I think AA is really popular right now. There's a lot of heal strat. This is obviously before the Spirit Vessel change, so it's a pretty solid hero all around. Timber and Naga. I think Shopify are pretty... They picked Naga a few times from what I've seen. Let me just check my stats. Let's see. Shopify... Maybe they picked Naga twice, right? And I think Naga is still a really good hero in most games. Otherwise, the bans from Shopify, pretty standard stuff, I'd say. Pangolier is the one ban that I'm kind of does New York Jiayou even play Pangolier? I don't think I've seen them do that. Death Prophet first pick. Here we go. This is exactly what I want to see. Death Prophet's finally made it through the draft. This hero is quite good right now. She just has so much move speed. She did get nerfed a little bit in 7.26a, but this is not that patch, so still quite good. Doesn't necessarily need a lot of farm to have impact. You know, exorcism is what's important. They need to just make sure they pick another save to go with the Death Prophet to help keep DP alive. Shadow Demon is very popular right now, but they have a lot of choices. I know SKSK said one time that he does not like playing Oracle, so probably won't see that hero. Wind Ranger. Okay. I haven't been seeing this hero too much. She definitely feels a lot weaker in the mid game since they changed her ags a while back. It used to be like, you know, you hit this like big timing at level 6, so you can like instantly kill most enemy mids. There's not much they can do to respond to a Wind Ranger these days. And then you kind of hit this lull between like, you know, level like 8 and your ags kind of, and then you pick up your ags and suddenly you're a monster again. But ags is very different now in Wind Ranger. The 2 charges on Wind Run makes it really feel like Nyx's assassin. You know, you just like, you know, sneak up and blow people up. But now Wind Run grants invisibility, level 25 talent as well, so very far down the line. I think this hero probably needs a little bit more in the mid game. But they picked it nice and early. There's a lot of flexibility with Wind Ranger, but I do think I normally see Wind Ranger in the mid lane. It seems like the best lane for Wind Ranger, because then they can like, they know they're up against the Death Prophet already, right? Like, there's DP position 4, but I haven't really been convinced by it yet. It sounds like a bit of a meme, and it kind of is, but like, it seems okay. I don't think we'll see it this game. So, you know, if you you know, your mid matchup, you might as well pick your mid now. Don't let it get banned for later. And I think Wind Ranger could do okay against Death Prophet. You have the Wind Run to try and run out of the Spirit Siphon a little bit faster. Like I said, once you hit level 6, Death Prophet is pretty much dead. There's not a whole lot that she can do to defend herself. I mean, obviously it sucks to like get Spirit Siphoned while you're focus firing, but you can definitely out damage it. Or, you know, just use Wind Run to like duck in and out either as well. Grimstroke banned out for New York Jiayou, so they're gonna prevent this Grimstroke Lich combo. And here's the save, right? Dazzle is the save that they want to help the DP stay alive. Although it's not really your like, it's not their traditional save where like it makes you invulnerable for a bit, or like as a dispel. I don't know if Shallow Grave is the right tool. I suppose you have a lot of healing with the Spirit Siphon, or like, you know, if your ulti is about to end, you just like keep her alive for a bit longer, the ghosts come back. Well, that's like pretty timing dependent. I don't know, I'm not big on Dazzle right now, to be honest. Slider gonna come out for Shopify. I think this hero is still pretty good, even after like a few repeated back-to-back nerfs, but still a bit of a lane dominator. The only problem is you don't know who your matchup is going to be yet, and I don't think New York Jiayou have any reason to pick the carry until 4th pick anyway. It also seems like Shopify are gonna save their carry for last. This also rules out an offlane Wind Ranger. I don't think we'll see offlane Wind Ranger in a position for Slaughter. That doesn't seem that good. So if you're New York Jiayou, you're probably looking for a little bit more lockdown right now, because these 2 heroes don't really provide it. And a Wraith King pickup. Normally, Slaughter's pretty good against these melee cores, but against a Dazzle, it could be a little bit tough for the Slaughter as well. Poison Touch, it's kind of shit at level 1, but at level 3, it's the level 2 Poison Touch it does a ton of damage. I'm so sick of that, of dealing with that. Every time I play position 4, I'm just like, oh my god, Dazzle again. But you gotta make it there. And Wraith King doesn't really help you with that, because he normally goes for no points in stun these days. And pick up for the PL, So they're gonna save their position 4 for last. Trying to make sure PL's not banned out. He wants to buy an early defusal, go for the Wraith King. Also really good against DP, right? Like, if she runs out of mana, she's in a bit of trouble as well. No, like, I guess it depends on like if you've gotten the Spirit Siphons off or not yet. It's also someone to just like, you know, run at the Dazzle and threaten him, force him to like grave himself maybe, and then you can like focus the others, because Dazzle's grave cooldown is pretty long until you hit level 16, because you really want to max the other 2 spells first. I don't know, I think like Poison Touch is like his best. Like, you don't want to just be a heal bot when you're support. Like, this is not the other MOBA, to say the least. That like being a heal bot sucks in this game. You definitely need to offer your team, like from a support position, some sort of damage or lockdown on both. And so Poison Touch is really your only option. And Axe picked up for New York Jiayou. That's a very good hero against the PL. Although it could struggle in lane a little bit against this Lich PL. I think he can just cut the wave, so it doesn't really matter too much. And Lich, you don't really want to level like Sinister Gaze early on, because it's not a very good ability at level 1. So it's Axe, who'll be able to like do creep shenanigans for a while, but he is going to take a lot of damage from the Lich. The Lich's Frostblast hurts a lot. But I can just imagine this Axe is just going to continue cutting the wave. He's not gonna play in the lane at all. And Alchemist as the final ban. So maybe they think it's a position for DP? If it's a position for DP and she's gonna probably lane with an Axe, that sounds pretty terrible against this Lich PL lane. It doesn't seem like it does anything. So I still think this is a mid DP. Puck gonna be the final ban here. Yeah, I mean, Puck could fit that lineup pretty well. Oh, and Lina? It's still up in the air? I think Lina is definitely worse against the Wind Ranger than the DP is. Maybe not. I guess you have to get close for the Spirit Siphon, but I don't know. I feel like this is a better DP lane.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
At least, like, in terms of who you want to give farm to, like, DP is probably preferable. And I could definitely see them tri-laning with, like, this Dazzle Wraith King Lina combo. I see a cheeky point in Wraithfire Blast early on to set up for the Light Strike away. That's going to be a lot of damage coming out of that. I don't think this is something that Slider can really deal with. And then just let Axe like cut the lane solo. He can just do his thing, try and get some levels, and try not to fall too far behind. I want to see out of Shopify. I think they may want some like team fight, right? Like they. I don't know, like, I feel like a Tide Hunter? I could see Winter Wyvern being alright here. You know, there's a lot of squishies to Winter's Curse, and Wraith King isn't always a BKB hero, at least not early on, right? Like, he's gonna get it at least as a second item after the Radiance, and that's like already quite late. Oh, Void Spirit. This is also crazy, because I've definitely seen more and more Void Spirit position 4 as well. But it's going to be Incarnate on the Void Spirit, and it looks like it's going to be a mid Death Prophet. So, DP versus Void Spirit. Definitely a little bit more DP favored. Wait, is that... Normally is Who is their mid normally? It's not. I think it is Fly or Bro. If PhD is not around. I know Incarnate is definitely the mid for Shopify. Yeah, this is a little bit odd. So gonna be positioned for Wind Ranger after all. I don't know if Void Spirit really like solves the problems of the draft that they have. Like, he kind of does the same thing as Wind Ranger, right? You want to like isolate people, jump on top of them, and like kill them, assassinate them. I don't know. I do feel like Facebook's lineup is a little bit easier to execute here. But let's introduce the teams real quick. On the side of Facebook, New York, Jiayou, we got SKSK on the Dazzle, Maybe plus C2A on the Wraith King, Flyord Bro on the DP, GH on the Axe, and Alipay on the Lena. On the side of Secret Shopify, we got Incarnate on the Void Spirit, Hero on the Slaughter, Lopet on the Lich, Cosmo on the Wind Ranger, and Coach on the PL. I really haven't talked too much about this PL, but it's pretty rough to find into Axe sometimes. You definitely, it's just like a hero you can't attack, right? Like normally when you're playing PL, you want to like chip at people away, but you know, like just keep throwing illusions at them, try to burn all their mana. But Axe doesn't really care. His call is not that much mana. So I was 110 maxed out. So, you know, you just keep a stick for that. You can cover it. And Alipay. Okay, so Alipay and Maybe are gonna lane here. So we probably will see an early point in the Wraith Fire Blast and the skills are up. I mean, Cosmo maybe needs to get a good shackle here, but I don't think he's gonna skill it. The Light Striker comes out. They do pick up the banner. It's gonna be 2 for 2. And Coach managing to play big for his team. Secures a banner for himself because they would have lost one of them. And he TP's back to the lane, so if he dies, he's in a lot of trouble. But he's a PL up against Axe Dazzle, so it doesn't seem that scary. Level 1 Battle Hunger, pretty normal stuff coming out here. It's gonna be really annoying for the Lich actually. Mid lane. We're gonna see a level 1 Crypt Swarm, so you're gonna use that to secure the range creep. Not opting to skill Spirit Siphon, but you're a mid laner. The level 1 is level 2 is not too far away. It's gonna be pretty tough to kill the Wind Ranger because we were relying on this setup, and actually Alipay hits a blind Light Striker Ray. Wraith 5 Blast comes out as well, but no follow up because of the Wind Run. This level 1 Wind Run is really irritating to deal with. She's also got a Blightstone at level 1, so gonna be really annoying against this lane who they don't have that much armor, although Lena has much more armor than I thought she would. I feel like she's one of those like, you know, 2 armor heroes. The Light Striker gets dodged again. Seems like it's going to be a pretty quiet laning phase for the most part. Just gotta keep the tower, the waves under the tower here. So I'm curious what this Axe is going to go for first. Vanguard would be pretty good this game, like build it into a Crimson Guard to mitigate a lot of this PL's damage. Probably see the Vanguard before he goes for the Blink. I think that's... you don't really want to go Blink first on offlaners anymore. Void Spirit, I'm also interested in to see what his itemization is going to be. I don't really see this hero too often, to be honest. It's, you know, still a new hero-ish, like compared even he's one of the newest heroes, right? It was just the Yules into Ags. That seems like a pretty safe play. And a bit of a bloodbath at bot. Alipay draws first blood on hero. And will pay his for it with his life. And a level 2 shackle shot coming out from the Wind Ranger. So that's I feel like that's not something you see too often. I'm getting a ping from work, so I don't really know what's going on here. Just try and get this resolved as soon as I can. Okay, interesting. Alright, Shackle Shot comes off. Wraith King does get stunned by it, but LSA to stop the bash from coming out. Hero has the bash queued up, but the slow after the Wraith Fire Blast as well, not able to get him. I mean, this lane probably is the one with the most kill potential. I should just maybe keep my eyes on here. I mean, Alipay's landing these blind LSAs and doing really well there. Let's see. Alright, Power Shot finally picked up for Wind Ranger. Oh, wow, that's a very long shackle. I am also kind of curious about Cosmo's skill build. You don't really see position for Wind Rangers that often, and it's like, you know, do you want to max Power Shot? Do you want to max Shackle? It's I feel like you want both, but it's kind of hard to justify not leveling the Power Shot. Like, just being able to clear waves is pretty nice. You get that bit of extra burst damage as well. Lich gets blown up at top by this combo, so yeah, this lane is pretty tough for the Lich. I don't envy him at all. He's still level 2 against these level 4 supports here, so he's getting dumpstered a little bit. Coach is level 4 in the meantime, and he seems to be doing okay in last hits. The Axe's numbers are a little bit inflated because of the neutral camps, but Wraith King is his equivalent and is pretty far ahead. Hero is going to be the one to pick up these bounty runes because he's quite low, and Alipay, he could be in a bit of trouble here. He's looking for the Slider kill. The LSA, it's alright, Bash is not available yet. The Dragon Slate comes out. One more hit from Lina is not going to be enough here, and Alipay gets shackled. Too greedy, and Incarnate cleans them up with the haste rune. Maybe he just does a drive-by Wraith Fire Blast, and he's in a lot of trouble now. Another Astral Step will finish him off. Top lane, Lopet goes down as well, so a lot of action happening all around, and this really is like a big power play at the 5-minute mark, right? If you're gonna lose the rune, you should pressure the enemy laner a little bit, although I don't think that happened at all in this game. What happened at top? So SKSK picked up the bounty rune, and then I guess he just killed the Lich. That's an interesting turn of events. Like Alipay, he normally like starters left the lane, let's pressure the other person in the lane because they're solo now, but then he ended up chasing and getting surrounded. Exorcism is popped now. It's actually expired, and DP got a pretty hefty chunk of this tier 1 tower, so pretty good job for a first Exorcism there. Let's see here in 100 seconds. Level 2 Battle Hunger on the Axe as well. So Lich, I think he's dead again. There's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do here. A call comes out as well, just for good measure. Probably not needed, but you're going to speed up that kill a little bit. And it's tough to be a Lich in this game. Let me tell you that. This is a pretty horrible lane to go up against. I mean, net worth is still pretty even, looks like. Void Spirit's coming out a little bit ahead on the mid lane over the DP, which is actually quite interesting. What is the CS last? He's not that far ahead in CS. Maybe that kill on the Lina really... Oh, I guess on the Wraith King as well, so that would explain that. That was a pretty worth rotation with a haste rune as well, and Hero goes down at bot again. No Wraith Fire Blast required. Incarnate taking a pretty hefty chunk of damage here. He's still got Astral Step, so you can't really burn these Spirit Siphons yet. And this is really annoying for the DP to deal with. The good news is she has Exorcism in 20 seconds, and it's time to take this tower if you're the DP. And we'll pick up the bottle, the haste rune, and fill out the bottle. That's what I was trying to say. Coach. His Poison Touch, but he has the level 2 Doppelganger now. The call comes out, but it's gonna whiff. There's no silence on the DP yet, and DP, Void Spirit's made his way top. I think DP could be in a bit of trouble. The Astral Aether Remnant comes out, it gets caught. Lopet does end up dying, but a nice shackle from Cosmo after TPing in Fire Bro. He's in a little bit of trouble. The haste has run out now, and not enough mana for an Exorcism. Dazzle will lose his life here. A dunk on Incarnate, so very horrible rotation for Incarnate. He is going to pay a lot for that kill. And GH is just going to be able to walk out of there. He's too tanky for them. No Vanguard required. He's actually going for a Hood, even though there's not that much magic damage. Try and go for the Courier, but one hit wasn't going to be enough. So a pretty good rotation all around by Fire Old Bro, and GH gets a kill with the level 2 Battle Hunger. It's actually going to be 3 points in the Battle Hunger now. I have seen this in the past. I thought it was a bit of a meme, but you know, you go for like Battle Hunger and Veil. He's going to go for a Hood, which I mean, it's great against Lich, I guess, but Lich is, if you want to make Lich even more of a non-factor in this game than he already was. The Exo is popped again, Tower gets taken down, Fire Bro is getting jumped by the Void Spirit here. Alipay takes the Aether Remnant, and gonna have to burn his other Astral Step out of there. So taking the mid T1 opens up the map a lot for them, and this DP can just rock up to another lane now and pressure their tower, and they're going to be forced to either give it up or like try and fight their way out of it. But you don't really want to fight DP this early, right? It's kind of difficult. Oh, breaks the invis instantly. Oh, he could have gone for the call, but he didn't know which one was the real one. The real one is within the pack, and this Battle Hunger does so much damage. Holy crap. Cosmo just TP'd in. He's already lost half his health. Half his health. Not health P. That's definitely not it. But holy shit, this Battle Hunger hurts like a beast. 32 damage per second. Alright. Ocean Heart picked up. They're gonna get the top tier 1 tower, and they didn't even need to blow Exorcism for it. They just used the Siege Creep, and it was good enough. They didn't need anything else. This axe is a little bit big right now, and that's actually a 5k gold advantage going the way of Wuhan Jiayou. That top fight, I think they got a big advantage out of it. You know, Wraith King was farming the whole time, and both Axe and DP got out of there, while the Void Spirit ended up dying, and they managed to get the mid tower out of that as well. So they're starting to snowball this game a little bit. Blink. Oh, he actually finished the pipe. So not even going for a blink yet. Doesn't feel like he needs it. The Battle Hunger on the Void Spirit here. Cosmo, he's looking for a shackle. He's gonna be able to get it, but do they have the damage to kill him? That's a lot of health on this axe. And Void Spirit, he took a lot of damage from that spin there. A call on Hero, and Hero, he's probably gonna get dunked for this. He's gonna die to the Battle Hunger. And Lopet goes down in the meantime. Exorcism was popped, so they need to try and make something happen with this. A Focus Fire popped on the axe, but not gonna help there. And this Wind Ranger doesn't even have a Javelin yet, which is probably the one item you want to get in a position for a Wind Ranger. And Axe going for a blink next is gonna help him start fights a lot better, and once he gets it, I think Shopify are in a lot of trouble, to be honest. And maybe he has a skill point held for his ultimate, so he doesn't need to be too afraid here. Cosmo taking a lot of damage. He kind of eats the Battle Hunger, so he's gonna take a lot of damage as well. forced back to the fountain. Skeleton's going to work on the tower a little bit. Coach, he is looking for a diffusal blade. They picked up this PL to try and make sure the Wraith King wasn't able to fight to reincarnate. But I don't know. I feel like he kind of needs a meta this game. You don't want to blow Doppelganger that early, and the silence from DP is also quite annoying to deal with. It's an easy follow-up after the Axe gets a call. Alright, Axe pulled in again by the Aether Remnant. GH is isolated. Lena's coming by, and LSA is gonna come out. It's gonna completely whip the Chain Frost as well. And can they kill GH here? He's really tanky. Kana takes a lot of damage, and they still haven't killed him. Alright, he's finally dead, but an LSA onto Void Spirit Poison Touch as well. He's gonna barely be able to limp out of there. The Resonant Pulse gonna keep him alive. Alipay gets graved. Should be able to stay alive for a bit longer. They're gonna die for this hero, but they're probably gonna lose a lot for it. Low Pit. Can they even catch up to this Lena? She doesn't have fiery soul stacks anymore, and Sprint is back up. They get one last touch, but they're gonna lose the Lich for it as well. 1-for-1 trade. I don't know if that was exactly worth it, but he did get the Axe, and he was snowballing pretty hard. 413 gold going the way of Void Spirit here. Gonna go for that Yules first to help him get free setups for the Aether Remnant when he jumps in, but also some way to get rid of the silence from DP. DP gonna have Yules complete now. Gonna go for the BKB next. I think this is definitely the right choice. There's not really a whole lot that can stop this DP once she gets BKB. PL doesn't care too much about the ghosts, because the ghosts are a single target. Alright, Shackle's not gonna latch on here, and Cosmo is in a lot of trouble. Probably gonna get dunked as well. There's no wind run to save her, and the Exorcism is popped now. They need to back out on the side of Shopify. Yules onto the starter, and he is in a bit of trouble. Gets the crush, at least. There's a call in 2 seconds, and Hero getting slowed down pretty significantly here. It seems like he's just gonna get dunked, not even required. The Ghost will finish him off, and the creep wave has arrived just in time for them to take this bottom T2 tower as well. Nice timing there. Just worked out in the end. Or was it planned all along? We may never know. That's why we need these player interviews. Alright. Radiance pretty much done on the Wraith King now. He's flying it out, and this is a pretty fast Radiance. Shopify, they're in so much trouble. They've been playing 4v5 and they've been losing 4v5. They've been losing against 4 heroes. That's probably more accurate. Alright. Axe with almost a blink as well, so this is big timing for them. Alipay in a little deep, gets a 2-man LSA though, and the Laguna Blade onto Incarnate as well. Unfortunately, the rest of the pulse is going to help keep him alive, and GH also in a lot of trouble here. Coach is showing up now with a fresh Diffusal Blade, so a double kill for PL. His first fight of the game, he's shown up. He's 3-0, he's doing pretty well this game, considering how badly his team is getting crushed. So, PL gonna be there light at the end of the tunnel maybe, but I don't know if he can do it alone. This Void Spirit definitely needs to help out here. He's gonna run into damage problems in the late game, because PL is not really good against these like strength cores. Okay, right at the shore. Pupil's Gift. Going back to farming here, so Lena gonna go for an Atos, interestingly enough, because we normally see the Aether Lens build, because you pick up that cast range talent at level 10, and you can start LSAing people from like across the screen. The Atos is interesting. It's basically a free setup for the LSA, so you get like a little bit longer on the disable if you think about it. It's pretty nice against the Void Spirit. I don't think you can dissimulate when you're rooted or use Astral Step. So some ways to deal with this Void Spirit a little bit better. The projectile is pretty fast on the Atos, so it's not easy to dodge. I also don't think Astral Step disjoints projectiles, but I am not sure what the mechanics on that are. Hero's gonna go for an Axe first. It's interesting. I don't know if this is necessarily the right choice. I definitely think Vlad's could be better. The PL is really like the one who's going to bring this game back for them, and the more you buff up the PL with auras, the better. So I think Vlad's could have been better, but at the same time, like, Axe is a pretty big ticket item for Slaughter here. It also helps him, like, you know, stand his ground a little bit, because he's kind of getting blown up a little bit. Maybe he gets shackled, but not gonna latch here. The Exorcism's popped out. Facebook, they want to go high ground. And dragged in by the 8th Ribbon. Flyover Bro, he needs to be careful. There is a Dazzle behind him, so it's going to be pretty difficult. Shallow Grave onto the Raid King here. He is not going to run out of mana in time, at least. So has the respawn, and Void Spirit, he's in pretty deep. He gets blown up by the Laguna Blade. Instant buyback from the Void Spirit here. And Facebook, they're probably going to look to back out, maybe. Exorcism is running out now. They don't have Reincarnation either, so this seems like a pretty sensible time to get out of there. Raid King, he's already resumed farming. They probably want to clear one more wave before they leave. And they're out. So, forcing the Void Spirit buyback, half the damage on the tower and mid, so pretty worth. They didn't lose anything for it, so very good series of events for Facebook here. And Incarnate, he is looking for a kill here. The 20-minute boundaries are coming up, so if Facebook get a little bit greedy, maybe they can get a pick off here. Axe going to be next for the Void Spirit, using the Yules to set up for the 8th Remnant. No way out of that, and they don't have Reincarnation on the Raid King, but he's life stealing for a fair amount. It seems like he's probably going to die here, although he's starting to heal up. Incarnate is dead. That's a dieback on the Void Spirit, and they're not going to be able to kill a Raid King here. That's pretty huge, and Coach, he's in a lot of trouble as well. Gets smacked down by Alipay, the Fiery Fists of Fury from the Fiery Soul, and this is a complete disaster for Shopify. The win range is going to die as well. And they didn't spend any ultimates other than Laguna Blade for that. No, they didn't even use Laguna Blade. What? Okay, yeah, dude, they didn't use no ultimates, and they took 3 heroes down. So it's time to go high ground again. Void Spirit is... Okay, no, they're probably going to go for a Roche. Pick up some bounty runes on the tough side of the map as well. I don't think they need to blow DP ult for this. I think it's pretty unnecessary. They'll probably give it to DP. Even though she's like kind of like a transformation based character with the Exorcism, I think it's still probably worth. We could probably just see, we can also see the triple life Raid King, and then she just like stands and hits the T3, and you just have to focus him so many times. DP's gonna pick up the Aegis. I think that's a little bit more sensible. Blade Mail next for the Wraith King. Sort of uncontrollable damage between the Wind Ranger. You can stop now if you're using Focus Fire. You press S to stop attacking, but then you gotta stand still. So that's it's a little bit rough here. You do hold position, not fire, but yeah, then you're standing still. So that's a bit rough. And Chain Frost is probably something you want to eat up at this point as well. Just kill the Lich with his own Chain Frost. Incarnate, he's still here. The Shackle comes out onto the Raid King. Can they finish him up? He has his ulti again. This is not really a fight that they want to take. And a Blink Call from 3 heroes from GH. And not going to get any follow-up at least. Incarnate, he really wants this kill, but they surely must know that Raid King has his ultimate again. And this is a little bit all for naught. Blink is up in 3 seconds, and a call is available as well. So Incarnate, he is gonna get dumped here. Can they get any more? It looks like everyone's TP'd out by now. Oh, The hiccups have started. First the sniffles, now the hiccups. Oh, another blink call right onto the PL here, and taking a lot of damage from spin. PL is a little bit of trouble. There are Yules from the DP, and I think PL is dead. That's a death on PL without buyback. They can easily take this, Rax. I think this game is going to be over pretty soon for Shopify. I don't really see them being able to come back into this anymore. They're going to lose at least a set of frags here, probably a second as well, because this DP ultimate still actually is going to run out soon. Maybe they'll only take one. But I don't really know how they're going to take a team fight, right? Like, this Void Spirit, he's kind of plateaued out damage-wise. He's still working on his Axe, which isn't really a damage item. And PL isn't really strong enough to do it alone. They've jumped this Raid King multiple times. They just haven't been able to kill him. Oh, and it Greaves now for Dazzle. Their problems only get worse. So low cooldown Greaves as well. 24.8 seconds. Wow. Alright, Alipay, he spotted the Void Spirit. They don't have any follow-up for it, but Axe is making his way here. Probably just go for an LSA. No, Blink Call's gonna be the first response. Wasn't able to get it before the creeps died, but the Guna Blade comes out as well. The Yules from the Incarnate is gonna save himself for a bit longer, and he actually dies on top of the leader here. I think this is a little bit of a mistake. They really want Alipay, but a nice two-man LSA. The Chain Frost comes out as well. It's gonna be a pretty big Chain Frost, but not really gonna get anything out of it. Meantime, maybe he actually gets taken down by the PL here, so just getting all his mana, but he's literally on 0. That was a pretty big kill. He got 415 gold. Oh, it was on the Wind Ranger though, so probably not that great. I think Wind Ranger should at least buy a Javelin, you know, like, at least do some damage in the fights, not just be like a shackle machine, a shackle bot. Although it's not easy to land these shackles, but this skill is not where it used to be, right? Like, it used to stun for like 5.25 seconds or something crazy like that. But now you gotta pick up this +1 shackle duration, and it's still not anywhere close to it as good as it was back in the day. And Flyout Bro gonna silence the two of them. The Exorcism is popped now, so it's time to run if you're Shopify. But a nice two-man call from the Axe here. Void Spirit gets blown up instantly, no buyback on him. And Hero, I think he's gonna get blown up by this Spirit Siphon as well. The Focus Fire comes out, but it's not gonna do any damage. A triple kill, oh, a double kill for Flyout Bro. 3 heroes dead already. Wind Ranger buys back. Pio runs in, but he's instantly taunted, and the Guna Blade comes out again? I feel like she just used it. Anyway, I think this game is pretty over. Pio does have buyback, but you can't really fight 3v5, and you definitely can't fight 4v5. So, 2v5 is what I'm trying to say. This Rex is gonna go down, and GG's called. That was a bit of a rough game for Shopify. I think, I don't know, the heroes kind of do similar things. You don't always want, you know, like Wind Ranger and Void Spirit, they kind of do the same thing. I didn't mind the other picks. I think they were all like pretty well rounded, but they really just needed some like team fight, something that can like set up without needing a blink like Slaughter, because Slaughter wasn't able to go for blink at all. He didn't even have a chance, and blink isn't even that good on Slaughter anymore, so it's a little bit rough for them. And this Axe definitely popped off a little bit. Like, he just destroyed the lane. SK and GH had a pretty easy lane at top. This Lich had a pretty miserable time, 0, 8, and 3. Not much that he could do against this lane though. I don't blame him. I think maybe they should have, like, I don't know. The problem is like Slaughter is not very good in like tri-lanes, in a solo lane. If they decided to tri-lane with the Wind Ranger and Lich, sure, they probably could have like shut down the Axe, but he could also just like cut the wave. and do axe things. So it's not that great either. I feel like they got outdrafted in the lanes a little bit, and then they just ended up. It just ended up not working out. I also think like, yeah, I'm not big on this Void Spirit last pick.